So the crypto market's been in a crazy spot. At least one of the craziest spots it's been in for a long time, with today coins like Stellar putting down some ridiculous numbers. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous numbers, plus 75% in a day. Matter of fact, it's a 2x over the week and a 4x or more than a 4x over the month. I mean, the last time I looked at Stellar, in my head it was like 8 cents, maybe like 12 cents. The speed at which this has been going up is just completely insane, and it seems a lot of our older generation coins, Polkadot, VeChain, Phantom, are all starting to go crazy again here. Algorand, Quant, Cardano, and of course earlier HBAR and XRP. And you know what's funny? That whenever I'm saying that here, I'm not mentioning a lot of coins because generally speaking here, because of these bull market vibes, going up like 20% in a day doesn't feel that crazy. It's really the ones that go up 75%, 100%, 50% plus in a day that are interesting. And if we look at the opposite side, almost nothing is going down. Now maybe if we refresh, things are slightly less bullish. Nope, XLM still up 55 or 56% throughout the day. Polkadot still up 35%, Jasmy up 33%, just completely crazy numbers. And it made me think that probably a lot of people out there are wondering where we think XLM is going to be heading. Because as of this point, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's on, right? But as the higher the prices go, quote unquote, the riskier that they get. For example, right here, I would say that at the $1.40 range or so, it is very, very nice to buy XRP. I said before, $1.40 is where I'll be looking to sell. I just try to buy at 147 or something like that. I try to buy my way up a little bit. But unfortunately, we actually kind of got rejected slightly earlier than expected, but it's okay because our average price is still at like $1.06, something along those lines. So we're completely comfortable with the spot that we are at. And if we go back to $1.40, something like that, I will be looking to add more. By the way, if you've not done it yet, make sure you check out the link down below to 𝗏𝗏𝘀 because right now they've got themselves a juicy trading competition going on. But also, just for our team, right? We got ourselves an extra competition on top of the trading competition going on. We are right now in about 30th place or so. But I really hope we can get into the top 20 at least before the end of this all. Right now, the team is winning about $2,000. I'm trying to get at least a little bit of a bigger bag, ladies and gentlemen. But that's also where we got these trades open. And right now, unfortunately, I don't have any crazy XLM trade to show you because we didn't really open that one. I'm just mostly holding it on spot. And so to answer the question of until what point am I holding, let's quickly talk about it. So XLM has been one of the OG coins, meaning it's been in my portfolio for an extremely long time and untouched, only added upon to over the last few, I'm going to say years. I can't remember the last time I sold XLM, and it's also because if we take a look at the price action, if we take a look at how things have gone, today, this doesn't really look like much, right? But it went from like 30 cents all the way to 55 in the span of one day. In the 7-day period, earlier, it started at 19 cents going all the way to 50. On the month, it started at 9 cents. Again, I told you guys that every time I bought XLM, it was at like 8 cents in my head or something like that, maybe 9 cents. But let's just say it was like extremely, extremely low because it's been at this 10 cent, 12 cent mark for almost a whole year. And all of a sudden now it decided to go absolutely bananas. And here comes one of the funniest kickers out of all. XLM is still only halfway through to its all-time high, and I believe that the moment we get towards those levels, which again can happen in a day, as we just went from like 30 cents to 50 cents in a day, it could be as quick as just 5 days from now, for example, that we're at all-time high levels, that things will start going fast from there, right? XLM right now is in 13th spot, but because of the virality, because of the crazy amount of hype that it's gathered, I think it will probably just gain kind of continuously with our other favorite coins like XRP, like HBAR, etc., etc. Then again, it's literally had the most viral campaign I've seen in a long time. If we exclude some of the coins like Peanut, you can literally see is the #1 most up coin over the entire month. If you take a look at the week, is the #1 best performer the entire week. Just below it is HBAR, just below it is OM. And it's kind of funny, these are all juicy holdings of mine. Polkadot, I've not got that much money into. Again, as we get towards VeChain, all those I've been holding for so freaking long, waiting for this type of break. And here comes the funny kicker again. If you right now are in an extreme amount of profit, I don't really blame anybody for selling a chunk here because again, it just did a 5x in the span of like a month, right? So I don't really blame anybody. On the opposite side, if we're thinking about where we're headed, I personally think Stellar can easily do about a 5x or so from the all-time high. I think it could do about a, I'm going to say about a $4 is really where I put my own target, $4, $4.50, which is about a 9x from here. It could do more, but that's where I'd personally be quite satisfied. Basically, whatever price you think of XRP, I think XLM is easily half that. That's my own personal thoughts. I know the different projects, and XLM in a lot of ways has actually been outperforming and doing better. I still do believe that XRP will stay on top. As at least at this point, maybe if some advancements come along, things will change, but that's what I'm thinking. And again, I've got my XRP target, maybe like 12, something like that, dollars, and my Stellar target is about $4.50 to $6 as my realistic target for where I expect things to go. Obviously, the more bullish scenario is even an XLM above the $10 mark, a 20x from here, $300 billion worth of market cap. It's not that weird. It could literally go to $400 billion this run, and I would not be too surprised. So even, for example, about a 25x or so could definitely happen. But again, if I'm being very open and honest with you, I think maybe around the $200 billion mark is where this one will end up. Just my expectation. So I'm going to say about it's about $6 per XLM would not be something too crazy. But I'm going to say from the all-time high, about a 5x or so, $4 or $5 per XLM is really where I expect it to go. And some of you guys are going to be saying, Dusty, that is not enough at all. I'd say, again, if we take a look at the prices from last week, going from 10 cents to like $4.50 in a run is just absolutely insane. Especially because of the virality and the speed at which it's going. I expect some sort of pullback here rather soon because it's been going too hard, and 𝗕𝗏𝗀 and a couple of those coins also saw a slight little dip before continuing on with the race. And I said it over on Twitter a little bit ago as well, that XRP needs a breather before continuing on. But the funny thing is, every single time we think, this is where things start to crumble, is where they just go again, right? For example, at $1.15 at XRP, it just fell down all the way back to like $1. People got scared because it's 15%-ish down. And all of a sudden, kind of sideways for a little bit, people got scared, and look at that, right? It went to $1, back to $1.15, kind of sideways and downwards, and all of a sudden, it made another crazy spike. With XLM, I think we're still early on that curve, as the price increases have been insane, sure, but it's been such an explosive, I'd say, move, that perhaps we're going to go sideways for a little bit, as long as you don't have a massive crash, though. Maybe we're just going to continue on with this crazy trend. To put it into perspective, I'm going to quickly grab an older chart from a different coin. Just to put it into perspective, right? If we take a look at the Nosana chart, for example, you can see here that this is a sort of bull run move, even though it was not in the bull run that this happened. This happened like the later points of 2023, which was bull run, sure, but not peak times. Peak times were like March or so, April, which was right here. Regardless, it went from 1 cent, this coin. It was a small cap, but it's about the idea. It went from 1 cent pretty quickly towards like 40 cents or 20 cents, 40 cents. You can see 50, 60, 70, 80. And then all of a sudden it went from like 90 cents to $1.60 within like the span of a few days. Came right back down. Ooh, $1.50. Oh, scared. $1.60 again. $2, $3, $4. And you can see as the week continue on, $6 and all of a sudden $8. Once more, this coin is way smaller than a coin like XLM is. But I'm putting it to your head that to go and continue up happens to multiple coins for prolonged periods of time, right? Especially like with XLM, after it's been down for just many, many months, maybe a year or multiple years. So a lot of people are waiting for XLM to hit the all-time high to start selling. Some people will definitely yeet their bag as we get towards those prices. But most people have been buying at these extremely low points where there's not really any point anymore to sell at 50 cents. We're going for something way higher as we're still quite early into the run. There was some fear that the whole meme coin debacle was going to take us down, but let me tell you that most people who got into meme coins a few days ago, a lot of them have gotten out completely again because they got wrecked. Right now, from here on forward, it seems our usual users are back in, but then with slightly more enthusiasm, slightly more hype. And I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, I am freaking bullish right now on how this is going to go. And I'm expecting this virality to continue as long as Bitcoin doesn't kick the bucket completely, which as of this point, it's not doing. It's coming back down, but we want to see that. We do not want to see Bitcoin only at 99.8 thousand or whatever. We want it to come right back down, maybe even a 95,000. That's completely fine within margin. So altcoins can continue on to shred that dominance. If Bitcoin goes too hard, people FOMO back into Bitcoin, and a lot of alts will suffer, at least in the short term, as Bitcoin goes for its run. Right now, if Bitcoin keeps ranging, though, does not cross the 100K mark, slowly keeps going sideways a little bit, that is the most beautiful thing we can have, as I'm trying to buy every single Bitcoin bottom, and then I guess from this point on forward, I want to say you can start rotating really, really heavily into alts. I said that for a few months already. As right now, the season is here for just the crazy gains. Again, you only see in a really, really proper season that these altcoins can do these numbers. I'm still expecting, as of this point, Bitcoin to make one heavier move towards the downside. But as of this point, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've gotten a good dip behind us. Things are starting to look really, really good again. I'm just using these opportunities to buy the freaking dips of most of these coins. As you guys know, that's how we're trading right now. Because in a bull run and in a good alt season, I'm telling you guys now, man to man, right? The best thing that I think you can do is buy every single coin, especially when they dip. You might be wrong, but the probability of being wrong is quite small. Meaning, let's say you are buying the dip today. There's a pretty good chance that the next couple of days is going to keep going up, so you made money. Let's say you bought the dip today and it goes down. Again, we talked about this in terms of strategy. We buy our way down lower and lower and lower because we're in such a bullish market. We're not going to capitulate completely here. It's going to probably take another few months. We can have some crashes, sure, but there's a very low chance that XRP really goes below a price where I can't keep up by buying, or I'd say with buying, or where I'm going to get wrecked. Oh, little voice crack right there. So my idea is, since the probability of whenever we buy dips like this, right, within the purple box here, we can actually sell going upwards again if we want to. So if you, for example, right now go back to 140, we can try buy in and sell, for example, at a 5% profit, something like that. Or just buy in and see, because the probability of bouncing back up and continuing up is rather high. As an example, right here, if we bought the dip, right, within the first purple box, we could have bought, sold for a few percent profit. Then right here, could have bought again, sold for a few percent profit. If we were really, really low and 1% profit, which is 10% with leverage, could have done it another time. But let's just say we did it once more, could have sold it right there, for example, for juicy profit. Then here, if we bought the dip, ooh, price went down lower. If we bought the dip again, so in this case here, we bought there once, bought there a second time, well, then again, we couldn't have gotten our profit as the price bounced back up. The probability of these bounces is pretty high. The probability of just crashing to a point of no return, for example, going all the way back to below $1, as at this point are quite small. They're there, but quite small. So I'm trying to buy these freaking dips because I'm thinking that as long as Bitcoin doesn't go for a crazy correction, this is one of the best ways to make money right now. Same with Doge, same with almost all these coins. Yes, they will go down a little bit, but Dogecoin as well. It's been down for a while, right? A few days maybe of negative price action. Let's quickly see it on a more zoomed in note. Quickly show you here. It's been a few days of down. You can see it here. The 13th of November, we saw crazy prices. We saw it down for a little bit. If you were just actively buying this freaking dip, just earlier today, it made a new high point, right? So you could have been buying right here. If you just bought your way down lower at 34 cents, maybe your average price would have been what, 39 cents? You could have still gotten a juicy amount of profit over the next few days. 20% that is. With leverage, this could have been like 200% or so. I just noticed that the camera stopped working. It's fine though. Anyway, you guys get my idea here. I think the market's in a really good spot. It's a very small chance we're not going to continue on here. Again, there could be some crashes. There could be some negativity along the way. But in my opinion, it is worth it to significantly go for these dips. If you're afraid of things falling too much, stay out with the crazy leverage, right? Stick to low leverage. Don't overdo yourself as some correction is due. There's a lot of people saying, oh no, this is where we break 100,000. I still don't feel like we are ready for that. And I'm not sure if I really want it to happen. But that's mostly to do with the fact that once we break it, it's getting closer and closer towards the end, where the longer we stay below it, the more time we've got to get into good positions and keep trading the range, which I think is going to be more profitable for most people. Regardless, if you want to join our team on Blowfin, anybody can join. Link is down below. Also, right now, as it stands, I don't have this link open. Here we go. I wanted to say there's also a pretty cool competition going on right now for all the people that are trading right now. You get a 10% cash back whenever you put in, which is up to $500 for absolutely free. But also, the more you trade, eventually you get yourself a freaking Tesla if you trade enough. Some of you guys wanted a motor, so I made sure they added that in. Get some travel credit or whatever. Just the more you trade, the more you get. Trade a few $1,000,000, which might sound like a lot, but if you're trading with leverage, this is pretty easy to do. Most people that start get this within like a day or so. You get a free Apple Watch, which, you know, it's just pretty nice, I guess. And you'll get it after the event is done, which should be in like a week or two from now. But anyway, some like to also calculate this in their strategy. The fact that you'll first of all, for example, get $2,500 here for free at 50 million plus. And with this competition, the more you get, if you get higher up, right now, some of the top traders are getting, let's quickly check, are getting about $400. This is in our team, just for free for trading. On the P&L side, some of the guys are getting what? Let's see here real quick. 27, but also a few $100s right there. And individually, the more that you trade, the more that you obviously get. Some guys are getting themselves $10,000 for trading a lot. And the funny thing is, I don't want to say. I'll keep that secret to myself. Somebody also made a juicy amount of profit on one trade, I guess, and is also winning a lot. Anyway, links for those are down in the description below. So check it out if you want to join our team. Again, these times will not be easy. Don't think it will be one straight road up. When we're talking about these expectations, we keep talking about them from a multi-month perspective. You know, July to perhaps December range or so. Many people don't realize this, but it's not about where it's going to be next week. It's where it's going to be over the next few months and adjusting accordingly, which is why I keep saying, if you're happy right now, you can always sell for some profit and either try to buy back cheaper or get yourself another good grounded entry where you feel comfortable again to just enter. Because one thing is very important to know. I have this notion of I prefer to lose some profits as prices go down than to completely get out and then see the price skyrocket, sure. But some people don't like to lose money, and I don't really care for it. I like to win, and I don't care about losing at all. It's fine. It's part of the process because I know where we're headed over the next few months. Some people prefer to just, for example, double the money, get out, they wait for another opportunity to get in and double their money. All those type of actions where it's, good opportunities, for example. As prices go down lower, you get more of these opportunities, whereas prices go higher, obviously it's getting riskier and riskier to hold, especially because a coin like XLM is already a 4x this month. But again, from this month perspective, wow, we're crazy high. From a bull run perspective, wow, we're only halfway there, or 1/5 there. But yeah, those are my thoughts on XLM. Crazy, crazy bullish on this one. Crazy, crazy bullish on 𝗕𝗫, crazy bullish on a couple of these coins, man. And finally, we're getting the justification or the justice we've deserved for a while.